Now, what year did you wrestle the Funks, Terry and Dory, down in Texas?
I was down in Texas in 84. No, not 84, I'm sorry, 74. Race brought me down there, and Terry was down there, and Dory was down there, and Terry was crazy.
Huh.
And he came up with this fabulous idea for me, and I said, I don't buy it. I didn't like it. It was a queer gimmick, and it was cute, but it was hard for me to adapt. He brought me into a beauty salon in Amarillo, Texas, with redneck cowboys. Found the queerest looking beautician, and had my hair up in curls and pink curls and that. And they had a camera crew there, and then he gave me this 40-pound robe. He said, "Wear it," and it was heavy and it was hot, but I learned a great deal down there.
What any good road stories from Texas with the Funks, like travel?
Oh yeah. We went to one of Dory's or Terry's party at his house in Canyon. All the boys were there on a cookout, and we were taking target practice and throwing food and getting in fights, and and the police did not like him at all. He ran up and down Canyon doing 120 mile an hour, and they were always trying to catch him, and they just couldn't catch him.
Huh.
And he's a legend. He's a legend in Canyon, Texas. I mean, he has a ranch there, and he was just crazy. He is crazy, but he's a great guy.
He's awesome. You worked for Fritz too, Fritz Von Erich, right?
I wrestled for Fritz in the early '70s, and he was good. Fritz was good. He was a good promoter. I started wrestling his boys, and then I started training Stan Hansen and Brody. He asked me to come into the office one day, and he said, "Would you help train a couple guys?" And I said, "Sure, I don't have a problem." I thought he was going to have me train little guys, and these two monsters come in. I said, "Holy shit!"
This is Stan and Frank.
Yeah,
right?
That's Stan and Frank. And I said, "Hi guys," and he said, "Well, you're going to teach us." And I got in the ring with them, and for 6 weeks I beat the dog shit out of them, and they never took a bad thing to me at all. They learned, they listened, and Brody was just funny because I would have him hit the turnbuckle back and forth 50 times, and then I get up there and I just chop the hell out of him, and then I get a wooden horse and I put it in the ring because I wasn't going to be in the middle of the ring, and I'd try to jump over my ass, and I would say, "Jump over this horse and land on your back," and it was awesome. I mean, he was funny, and we got along great. He never forgot that. He would always, every time we met, he said, "I remember Dallas beat me up." He said, "I love you for it."
Wow.
And we were always great friends. And
Did you know he was going to be a huge star one day?
Oh, yeah. I just knew where he was going with his size and how Von Erich was molding him. And he stayed down south and then moved his way around. He was going to be good. He was good.
What about Stan? Did you see them as equals, or did you see one have more potential than the other?
Brody had the potential.
Right.
Brody had a natural potential. He had a natural gimmick. He was burly. He was wild. He was thick, and he just brought that magnetism in the ring with him. And Stan didn't have it at the time, and Stan had to be molded even harder to get him in because Stan had a different way of approaching it, and Brody was just a beast. That's how he got over.
What are your feelings on the tragedy that happened in Puerto Rico in July of '88, I believe?
I saw Brody a week before he went there, and we were wrestling in a town in Georgia, and they came back and said, "Did you hear Brody got killed?" And I freaked because Abdullah was there when it happened, and Abdullah was on the show with me and told me, and I felt really bad. I mean, Brody was the type of guy that would stand up for the little guy and fight for you. And he fought for his money. He fought for the guy's rights. And he just, pissed him. He just pissed off Carlos Colon over there, and they killed him.
Right.
And it was sad, but you go to a foreign country to wrestle. You're in their ballpark. You play by their rules. Wrestlers would get shot over there and stabbed over there because if you gave them trouble, hey, you're in another country. you're out in the woods, you're gone.
Right. There's a lot of different stories surrounding that. It stemmed from heat between Brody and Vader from when they worked for Vince Sr. I guess there was problems in the locker room where I guess he thought Brody took advantage of him when he was a job guy for Vince Sr. And then when they went over there, Brody had an ego. And
Brody really never had an ego. Brody was just Brody. He had one way to go. He wrestled and he treated everyone the same way, but he didn't take no shit from anybody.
Right.
If you had a problem with him, deal in the ring with him. And it would be one-on-one, and he didn't have a problem with it.
As far as Fritz goes and the Von Erichs, which son did you see had the most potential? A lot of the guys say David was pretty much the best worker out of the bunch.
David got the biggest push.
Right.
And he was good. He just had a lot of personal problems. And his potential was unbelievable because everyone, first of all, you got the families. You got certain families around the country. The Von Erichs had a lot of pull in Kansas and Georgia and Florida because of the family relationship. He got a good push, but he worked at it. He worked hard. He liked to have fun. It was another tragedy, and they had a lot of them in that family.
Did you see a lot of the drug use with the Von Erichs when you were in the territory? Or?
No, not a lot because I didn't travel with them. I was a heel, they were bay faces, and that's how I kept it. I stayed to my group, and I never associated with them. I only in the ring.
Who'd you get to work with down in Florida, in Texas?
I wrestled everyone that was down there at that time. It's been so long. It's been over 35 years. But I worked with everyone that came in that territory. I wish I could remember some names, but it's been a long time.
Any standout stories, I guess, from the Texas area?
Yeah, Bob Orton and I traveled a lot together, and we would leave Dallas to head up to San Antonio. And Bobby was just learning how to play golf, and I was learning too. And on the way to San Antonio, we pulled the car off on the road and shoot golf balls across the highway over Greyhound buses and cars. And we didn't give a shit. And we were drinking a case of beer on the way to San Antonio because it was hot. Everyone drank. You pick a case of beer, go to town drunk. But that's how the guys traveled down there.
All right. Back in Georgia, Andre the Giant, memories of Andre?
I have a lot of good memories of Andre. I wrestled him in a double ring match where you had to be, the only way you could win is be thrown from one ring into the other ring over the rope and not get thrown over the top. Well, Andre just went from here, I went over there, and then the next thing I knew I was over there, and he was just huge. Andre was a great guy to wrestle. He would never hurt you. He was such a gentle man. If you got hurt, you hurt yourself.
Right.
And if you hurt yourself, you're stupid. And my hand goes up because I was stupid. I hurt myself one time with him. He went to give me an ass bump, and I just drove my legs as hard as I could into the mat, and I blew my knee right out. And he said, "I'm sorry, boss." I said, "You didn't do it, I did it." And he was very sorry about it, but he never hurt anybody. You wouldn't want him to get mad because he was so gentle, but if you pissed him off, the big man would hurt you.
That's what everybody says. If he liked you, he liked you, but if he didn't, you'd know it.
You would know it because he'd drink 3-4 cases in one night.
Right.
And not even get started. 3 cases would just start getting him going. I saw that man drink 4-5 cases one night and didn't even have a buzz on. And I said, "Oh, not me."
Oh, wow.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.